Gary, how you doing? Kevin, Travis, what's up? Rita, hello. Elizabeth, how you doing? Susan, hello. Linda, how are you? Give it a couple more secs here, guys. We'll get started. James, how's it going? Okay. Swampwatch. Joan, how you doing? Swampwatch. 11/5/19. Rory, how you doing? Tony? Okay. I'm gonna start um, with something I was talking about yesterday, and I had a couple of conversations today, which lead me to believe that I wasn't really clear about the whole thing about the video with Deborah Tavares and her criticizing President Trump. Um, a, a couple of things we need to make clear. We um, have freedom of speech here in our country, but a rule, kind of an unwritten rule in America, is you do not criticize the president in times of war. And anybody that doesn't understand that we're in the biggest war our country has ever seen uh, needs to educate themselves, because President Trump has been under a constant attack from the deep state, swamp, globalist, mainstream media, um, big business, big banks, nonstop since before the election. There are people that want him removed from office because they know he's about ready to take down the swamp, which they are part of. Criticizing the president does zero good and a lot of bad. And the problem is that most people who are criticizing the president don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I'm going to use Deborah as an example. She was very critical of the president about an executive order that he signed that has to do with food production and trying to increase food production. And as mentioning, there was something about GMO foods. Um, I'm not a fan of GMO foods. I'm not a fan. If you've paid attention to what I've been saying for 5 years now, I'm not a fan of globalism or the globalists. Most of them are going to be executed. But I understand what President Trump's doing because I understand the big picture. He's not supporting the globalist agenda. He's not supporting GMO foods. He's supporting our survival because he understands we're about ready to go into a situation where millions of people around the world could die if this isn't handled correctly, and food is going to be a valuable resource, an important resource for survival. Many countries are going to struggle through this. President Trump is doing this because he understands where we're headed, that we're headed for a lot of people in the world starving. When you look at all the crops we lost this year, and then the first ever worldwide economic collapse, and governments that are strapped, that aren't going to be able to help very much. For the people that are asleep, thank God you live in the United States, because most people that are asleep in other countries around the world aren't going to fare very well. President Trump is the only chance here. Anybody that doesn't understand that it's President Trump or we're going down the road of Agenda 21 and UN domination of the world. He's the last hope for a free world. So for you to criticize him about an executive order that you don't understand isn't helping anything. I've said from the beginning, there were a couple of times in the beginning where I was thinking, my God, I don't think this is the right choice. But I kept my mouth shut because I knew even if I was right, it wasn't going to help him to run my mouth. As it turns out, a month later, something comes out, something is revealed. My God, it was the exact perfect thing to do. But I couldn't understand that because I didn't have all the information. And he did, and he made the right decision. So don't second guess our president. I don't know how I can make it any more clear than that. If you want to criticize the president, you're not welcome here. You're not helping. And this page is about helping people. And the biggest help we can give them is good information. And the most important thing to remember here is that President Trump is 100% a patriot, 100% we the people, not government. He understands 100% that he works for us, and that nobody in our government has understood that for probably over 100 years. They act like there are rulers. Well, guess what? That's not how it works here. And what you're seeing around the world is a reaction to a leader who puts his people first, who believes in nationalism, in patriotism, is the way to a better world, and that we don't all have to be trying to cheat each other or spy on each other to make a better world. In fact, those things are counterproductive, as the globalists have proven. When they were on the verge of defeating us, to defeating the last free country in the world, and they choked. An election that they fixed, they couldn't win. And they couldn't believe it. And because of it, we have mountains of overwhelming evidence, irrefutable evidence, that's going to hang all of these traitors. Anybody who's involved in the FISA warrants is a traitor. Anybody who was involved in Uranium One was a traitor. Anybody who's involved in the Benghazi Treaty and the $160 million in kickbacks is a traitor. They're all going to be exposed, and they're all going to be executed. And that's not even getting into this, that they're all satanic pedophiles. Just think about if President Trump isn't the guy, if he doesn't win in 2020, what do you think's going to happen to our country and then to the world? Millions. Because I'll tell you what, the United States military will not surrender power of our government to any of these globalists. Going that route ensures that we will keep control of our government in the world. But if it goes that route, you can expect millions are going to die. You know, if they were to, and this is not going to happen, guys, but playing devil's advocate, if they were to assassinate President Trump, which they have tried many times, military's not going to, you know, Pence would not be the vice president. Pence is a traitor. Pence is going down. Pelosi would not become president. The military would not allow it. The military would immediately call martial law and they would hold elections. But just imagine that scenario and the chaos that it would cause. And then without President Trump to lead us through it, it would be a disaster. I don't see that happening. I don't see millions dying here because I believe President Trump is on his game. He's 10 steps ahead of these clowns. We don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot. So do not criticize the president. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. We got to use our heads here, guys. And when you see other people doing it, jump in the middle. Don't allow it. Yeah, I mean, everybody is so quick to point the finger. Let's work together 100% behind our president and finish this thing. Project Veritas. Just keeps getting better every day, guys. I'm sure most of you have seen the video. What's her name? Amy Rohrbach? Yeah. ABC. I mean, awesome. They had it. She had this story 3 years ago, and ABC wouldn't let her run it. The Epstein story. She interviewed what's her name? Virginia Roberts. She had pictures. She had it all. The whole story. The royal family, the Pope, the whole deal. They wouldn't run the story. And we know why. I mean, they work for the CIA. The CIA was running Epstein. You know, they're the biggest, well, them and the Pope, the biggest child traffickers in the world. You know, ABC works for the CIA. Project Mockingbird. Look it up. But what it's doing, guys, is now ABC just announced that, oh, well, we just didn't have the corroboration we needed, but we're running a whole miniseries, I think, after the first of the year. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But this is going to be the problem. for the mainstream media now. They're backed into a corner where they have to start reporting on this, or they're going in the toilet. They're almost in the toilet now. This would be the final leap for them if they don't start covering these stories. I mean, people are already upset, right? But now they're the point they have to cover them because it's mainstream. They're about done, guys. They're out of bullets. Deutsche Bank. The most systemically dangerous bank in the world lost $924 million. Lost $924 million in the third quarter alone. Stock dropped 8% in one day. This is the bank, when it goes down, the whole world goes down. The biggest bank in the EU. When it goes, the EU goes, everything goes, guys. Any day. I mean, this is just one of the triggers. There are so many. I mean, the whole thing with the Fed and the repo program, it can't last, guys. They're up to over $300 billion in the bailout that's not a bailout, this repo program, this scam, which is just basically quantitative easing, printing more money. Can't go on. It can't go on and well, let's put it this way. Nothing it makes any difference. They can print more money. They don't print more money. The economy's done. There's nowhere for it to go. It's a matter of pick your poison. Which way do you want to go down? Because it's a mathematical certainty. It's going down. It's going down soon. Is it going to be hyperinflation, or is it going to be Deutsche Bank collapsing, or Chase, or Wells Fargo, or B of A? Because any of them, HSBC, any of them go down. The whole thing comes down. Nothing on the 11.3, 11.5. You know, things we talked about with the dates and the satanic numerology, which is a good thing. It means maybe that raid on Baghdadi, and there's going to be a lot more that come out. And Turkey just captured Baghdadi's sister, and supposedly there's a ton of intel there. I don't know whether she was carrying computers or whether she's singing like a canary, but there's going to be a lot more come out of that, which is also going to make the deep state globalist rats in the swamp, Nancy Pelosi and Schiff, really nervous, because she knows a lot too. She probably knows that they came to visit a week or two ago, whenever that was. Schiff and Pelosi supposedly met with Baghdadi in Syria. It's going to be good watching, guys. Okay. Then we had, more horror in Mexico. I love Mexico, but I'm not going until we get this shit straightened out. Was it nine members, I believe, of the same family? I don't know, supposedly got caught in a crossfire of two drug cartels in northern Mexico. Could be, maybe it was a kidnap attempt. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of that stuff as their cash flow is choked off with the crackdown on the child trafficking and the drug trafficking, and of course the CIA and the deep state having their wings clipped. They're going to start to look for other ways to raise revenue. And I wouldn't be at all surprised that the next step is, kidnapping Americans in Mexico. Be on your toes, guys. be thinking about where you're going, and how important it is to go, because the world is about to get pretty crazy. And the last place you want to be is a third world country, because whether you realize it or not, most of the third world doesn't care a lot for the United States. A lot of them, whether it's true or not, believe that the reason they're there is because we've put our thumb on them, and not allowed them the economic growth that we've had. To a certain extent, I believe some of that's true. Our government has interfered shamelessly around the world for 150 years, um, and way worse. The last 60, 70. But you don't want to be in a third world country when the shit hits the fan, which could happen any day now. So think about your vacations, where you're going. I personally am not leaving the country until this is over. And I'm staying out of big cities as much as I can until this is over. And if it does blow, things get crazy. I'm only 25 miles from San Francisco. We're out of here. Got to be thinking about these things, guys. We're getting to the end. POTUS offered to send in the military. That's one thing the cartel doesn't want, because it won't be this bullshit of we're going to go down and pretend like we're doing something. That's how it used to be. That's how the globalists played the game. It's not how President Trump plays the game. They'll go down and they'll do some stomping. And I don't think the cartels want that. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Let's see what we got for questions. Oh, the other thing, guys, what I'd like you guys to start doing, if you guys see anything that pops up during the day that you would like me to address in the live chat, message me with it. Just send me a personal message with a topic that you want me to cover. And I think for the most part, I'll be able to fit most of them in, but let's try that for a little bit. Because I know that everybody has a different need as far as what your awake level is. So, and I know that a lot of the people that have been here on the Watchmen are pretty advanced. So the new people, if there's something you guys want me to cover, just message me. Okay. Oh, Bull Pony. He said, I think he said the 4th or the 5th for the economy. We'll see. If he gets it within a week, he's good by me. So we'll see how these next few days go. Yeah, nothing new that I've heard, guys. Tom, how you doing? David, Paula, Mike, how you guys doing? Oh, David's got tooth pain. Take care of that, David. Rebecca, hello. Yeah, guys. As something else we need to be aware of, as this thing builds and the economy worsens, people are going to be on pretty short fuses. And if the stores close, multiply it by 100. Um, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. If the grocery stores close for more than a week, it could get dicey. It probably will get dicey if that happens. Um, Again, if President Trump keeps the lights on, power on, and the grocery store stocked, we'll get through this okay. The ones that are prepared will get through it smooth. I think it'll be a breeze. The ones that aren't, are going to struggle. You might have to scramble for resources, but I think they'll be available. It's going to make it so much easier on you guys if you've got your everything we've talked about. The silver, the Litecoin, medical supplies, ammo, food, water. Um, you don't want to be out of food, especially if you got a family and kids, and there's rioting and looting in the streets. Um, that's not a good scenario. You don't want to be in a big city either. So that's all part of the mental preparedness of this, guys. You got to be thinking about this stuff now. You got to be talking to your friends and your group now, because after it happens, it's too late. Chad, how you doing? Julie, hello. Yep, thank God for Donald Trump. This would not have gone well if it wasn't for God and President Trump. This was going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, listen, when this happens, guys, all the big banks are going. All the central banks are going to go. They're the ones that put us here. And it's not an accident. The accident for them is that they aren't in control when it goes down. That's what they wanted. They wanted to be driving the bus when the bus went off the road. Um, they're in a really bad spot here now. Well, who is this? Well, Gary's saying what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. Not really, because the border is still, they're our neighbors. Um, we we don't want organizations operating like this anywhere in the world. And once the problem is the reason they become so powerful is because they were allowed to become powerful, because the people who are in control were benefiting from them being in power and making money, selling their crap. It killed two birds with one stone for the CIA. It allowed them to destroy our inner cities, and it was a huge revenue source for them. Yeah, not in our best interest, guys. There's a lot more to the Mexican story. Trust me. Where we go one, we go all. That's it, guys. That is that's what gets us through this. Unity. Where we go one, we go all. It's, you know, Common sense. Kathleen, how you doing? Yeah, cattle is a good. Listen, I think. Uh, well, you know what I think. If you're looking for an investment, return on investment, a way to make money, it's Litecoin, guys. And something else. I was talking to some new members today, and and they basically, we don't invest. Well, we're talking. This is the situation we're in right now. Is unlike nothing the world has ever seen. Nothing the world will ever see again. Again, I'm going to say it again. This isn't a once in a lifetime opportunity. This in a once in mankind's existence opportunity. This is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. $25 could turn you into a millionaire in 5 years. If you put $25 in today. I asked the person, do you have auto insurance? Of course, everyone has auto insurance. You got to. If you have home, you got to have insurance on your home. Anything of value you want to protect, you get insurance for. So why in the hell, if you've got a pension fund you want to protect, if you've got a bank account you want to protect, stocks, bonds, you buy physical silver and Litecoin. That's your insurance to protect your pension fund. Because here's the bottom line, guys. You're not going to get it. I know all these people thought they were going to cut a fat hog. I'm going to make $8,000 or $10,000 a month retirement. No, you're not. You're not going to get a penny. Where does that put you? If you don't have your retirement, you don't have your bank account, stocks, bonds, it's all gone, and you've got nothing outside the system. You have no physical silver or no Litecoin or no gold or no Bitcoin. You're stuck like everybody else. I know a lot of people in the Bay Area who are millionaires who are going to be penniless when this is over because they won't listen. They think that the stock market is the end all be all. It's, if it's worked forever, people are making money as long as they've been alive. Well, they don't remember 1929. And that was a drop in the bucket compared to what this is going to be because of the manipulation and the way they were allowed to blow this bubble up to astronomical sizes. If it would have popped in '08, it would have been rough, but we would have got through it okay. They blew it up for another 10 years and made it 100 times worse. There's no escaping it. Unless you have physical silver and Litecoin. And it's not going to get you out of everything. But for most people, it's life-changing. You open up a Coinbase account, using your bank account, you open it up, takes you 10 minutes. You buy $25 worth of Litecoin, and you sit on it for 5 years. I think anybody that does that is going to be a millionaire in 5 years. Litecoin's at $60 right now. 63. If the analysts are right, and I think they're right, but conservative, they say $3 million by 2024. So something you pay $63 for today could be worth $3 million in 5 years. That means if it is worth $3 million in 5 years, that means $21 makes you a millionaire. If you invest $21 today, I think you're going to be a millionaire in 5 years. And again, I think that number's conservative. I think it's going to be more than $3 million. And I think in 10 years, it's probably going to be more like 10 or 12 million. Got to remember, guys, there's only 84 million Litecoin in the world. Cryptocurrencies are going to be the future of money, and Litecoin is the leading contender to take the place of cash because it's fast, and it's inexpensive to use as a form of payment. Problem is, and there's 84 million, right? There's 7.5 billion people in the world. And about 64 million have already been sold. So it only leaves 20 million with a population of 7.5 billion. What do you think is going to happen to the price when the banks close and people realize, oh shit, I need something outside the system? There's going to be a rush to precious metals and cryptocurrencies. So don't miss the boat. If it's 20 bucks or 30 bucks, almost everybody can come up with that. Don't buy cigarettes for a month. Don't buy Starbucks for a month. There's your $1 million right there. Almost anybody can do this. There's no excuse to miss a boat. I understand if things are tight and you're living paycheck to paycheck, in if you were going to invest in the stock market or something else that's more common, and you could make money, but it might take a long time and you don't have a lot to invest. Here's something where $20 could change your life. You're never going to have this opportunity again, guys. Now's the time to make a sacrifice. Come up with that little bit of money, because it's going to change your life. If you can hold it for 5 years, it'll change your life. Because it's all about supply and demand. You want something you invest in that's limited. Because just think what happens. Because once this thing blows, I've got Litecoin. I'm not selling any of it, because I don't want to sell until it gets to a top. So that just drives the price up even higher. It's going to feed on itself, guys. That's why we're going to get these crazy numbers. Okay, that's all the questions. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, guys. Remember, time's short. No procrastinating. Anything you need to do it today. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Because what's going to happen is, one of these mornings, you're going to wake up, you're going to be on your way to work, you're going to try and buy some gas with your ATM card, it's not going to work, or your credit card. Everything's going to be frozen. What do you do then? If you can't access your bank account, you've got no cash, you got no gas, your rent's due, or your mortgage is due next week, what do? Get some insurance. Buy some physical silver and Litecoin. Please don't wait. Okay, guys, I'm in it there. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5. God bless.